Hey everyone, it's summertime. I'm your host, Summer Hill, and today I'm here with Alante Serene, the executive producer of Melanin Mythbusters and also the music video visuals producer for NPR. We are breaking down melanin myths. What do you have to say about that, Alante?
I'm here to say that I am so ready to be here on summertime and get into all of it. So let's get into it.
Period. Hey everyone, it's summertime. I'm your host, Summer Hill, and today we are with Alante Serene. Claps for her. She is the NPR music visual producer as well as the executive producer of Melanin Mythbusters. And we're going to get into all of that.
Let's
But
do it.
before we get started, I want to tell you all that it is Women's History Month, so we have to highlight our beautiful, successful women.
Hell
Claps to
yeah.
that too.
Yes,
We'll do
yes,
the
yes.
silent claps. Thank you for being here, Alante.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here. I'm glad you invited me on. This is a big
Girl.
deal.
Of course. No, I love the work that you're doing. And we're actually starting a new series, and you're the first person we're doing it with. So that's beautiful. It's called Summertime Shines, where I shine a spotlight on other people doing really cool stuff in the community. So I want to get into your series, Melanin Mythbusters. Tell me
Yes.
what that is.
All right. So Melanin Mythbusters is a platform where we basically just break down different Black milestones, mysteries, and myths in the Black community. So we're talking about like things that we just are misconceptions within our own groups, what other people like put on us for stereotypes and things like that. And also just like highlighting like some major moments that we do in the Black community as well.
So, where'd the inspiration for this come from? What made you get started?
Well, I'm sure you can attest to this. Like, as a journalist, we are always curious. And I feel like that's kind of like what sparked it all, just like curiosity and wanting to know more. And my first episode was like on the watermelon because I sat there and I thought one day, I'm like, why? I don't know what brought it to me, but I'm like, why? Like, why do people think we like watermelon so much? And I realized that everything damn near, can I cuss?
Yes.
Damn near everything, damn near everything in America. I mean, we can kind of go global with it too, but like relates back to race and history and all those things. So, and that definitely applies to stereotypes and misconceptions about Black people. So, even silly things like us loving watermelon like has so much like history to it.
And it's context we don't even think about.
Yeah.
So, okay, what was the most surprising thing that you realized, like when you started doing your research? Because the research is really good, by the way.
Thank you.
But when you started doing your research, what surprised you the most about what you found?
That's a good question. I would probably say the Hennessy
Mm-hmm.
and like our roots of Hennessy and why it has us like in such a chokehold. I almost cussed again. I'm trying to like not to cuss.
Girl, this is my show.
Okay, such a fucking chokehold. Such a fucking chokehold. But I think like that was surprising for me because I'm like, wait, not there really being like a whole like history and kind of like a sweet story behind why we love Hennessy so much.
Wait, can you break it down a little bit?
Yes. Okay.
Thank you.
So basically, going back to World War II is when it kind of all started, when like Black people were helping out in the war as soldiers in France, and the France ended up gifting them Hennessy bottles. And like that's kind of where it all started out, right?
Wow.
Yes. And so, but fast forward, they were like the first alcohol brand to actually use Black people in their advertisements.
Wow.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. They use Black people like doing like normal things, and not like some kind of caricature.
Right.
So like that was really big back then, and it really reached Black people, and I feel like it's stuck, obviously. And then even if you fast forward like to the 99s and the 2000s, you have them reaching out to all kinds of like Black celebrities and Black artists to promote the brand as well. So like they just kind of they knew like the Black people was where it was at. We make it all go round, and that's why they're like the number one selling cognac brand right now.
So, side note, what's your drink of choice?
Tequila.
Okay, I was just
Yes.
curious.
I like Espolon.
Mm,
Yes, I do. A little Espolon with pineapple.
okay.
Yes. But my favorite cocktail is a mojito.
Okay, a mojito is good. I
Yes.
just realized the name of my favorite cocktail is a porn star martini.
What's that? What's in that?
It's like passion fruit, vanilla,
Mm.
vodka.
Okay.
It's really good. If you go to Shoto, it's called the Ray Mizuna.
Okay, because I was gonna say not everyone can make that thing because I feel like passion fruit isn't really at all the
Yeah.
bars.
No,
And
no, no. And they
okay.
mix champagne with it, but at Shoto they make sake.
Mm.
It's really good.
Yeah, sake that creeps up on you.
It does. But I stopped drinking for 2024, so
oh,
that's a
I love
that's a whole nother
that.
thing, girl. Yeah, it's been quite a journey. No, it's only been 2 months. It hasn't been hard
Okay.
at all.
Okay, yeah.
But back to you. Sorry, I just had to know. I was really curious. Okay, so tell me how your research process goes because I'm telling y'all, when you watch these videos, they're so in depth. I'm like, how did you find this out?
I mean, child, Google. I'm not, you
pretty
know,
much.
Google. But I definitely my sources. I always try to like get like medical if it comes to like certain topics I'm talking about. I try to like actually get like medical sources and like .org sources and not just like somebody's blog. I'm talking about whatever and anything, you know.
Yes.
But I do realize that like this was a need that maybe need to be filled because people aren't reading as much nowadays.
Yes.
I don't mind a good
Or
read.
researching.
Okay, so yeah, so I'm like, you know, I'll do it for you, and then I'm just gonna like lay it on you like straight and simple, so it's easy to understand because it can be a lot to like go through everything.
And also, I really like your video format. Like, it's really engaging. Like, you have graphics on the screen, you have examples, you have trends that are popular right now. Tell us how you like learned how to do those create videos like that.
Shout out to Howard. Yes, HU.
You know.
But yes, you know, I was in school of C, so that's kind of where like my journey with video sort of started. They do like I learned a little bit, but there this is video editing. But then once I graduated, I started working with a company, and my whole job was making short form video.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was that's kind of like where I got introduced to short form video and just like the impact it really has. So yeah, I kind of learned like how to write quick, like get straight to the point, like start off like to grab attention and like, you know, just how to format it in a way that's easy to like read and view on your phone. So that's kind of like where it all started there. Yeah.
So what's your goal with this platform?
Man, I mean, eventually I like to expand it to not only be like a video series, like, but also a podcast. I like to expand it as well to like bring on different guests and like maybe experts who can like speak to the topics I'm discussing.
Cool.
Yeah. And also just like highlighting like not common, everyday mythbusters, like people who are Black and like doing the things like that people thought we wouldn't be able to do, you know? So that's like the big picture plan. Yeah.
Khalif, did you hear that? We have a new podcast idea.
Sure.
So I want to break down some of these myth busts. Let's bust some of these myths. Okay. So first, is soul food not so good for your health?
All right. So this one is layered because there's not a straight answer to it. Obviously, it depends on who's making it, what they're doing with it, right? But if you don't know, soul food goes all the way back to like slavery. We were there having to get kind of the scraps for meat from, you know, our slave owners. And then also we had to like go out and forage our own things. So that's why you see like fried fish. We had to do things like plant okra of our own and greens. And these things like okra, greens, black-eyed peas, I mean, those are like the basics of a healthy diet, you know? So I feel like the basis of soul food has potential to be good for your health. But I do think that a lot of us a lot of us add a little extra, the extra butter, the oils, you know, but I think that like I think it would be a good idea for us to kind of adjust it just a little bit. You know, we've got ways now. It's 2024. You got the air fryers. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so do you cook?
Yeah, I do a little something. Honestly, at this point, I make the same thing over and over.
Okay.
Because I am just like, it's too much. Every day I got to find out what I'm going to eat, what I'm going to cook. I'm
That
like,
is the worst part of my day is figuring out what I'm going to eat.
yeah, it's like every day, and then what, 3 times a day? That's
Like,
crazy.
are you kidding me?
Mm-mm.
Do you follow a recipe book? Like, I need some ideas. I need something.
No, I don't. I be in there just like going off vibes, listening to my ancestors, and
Mhm.
just like doing whatever half the time. Every now and again, if I do like really just jump out my comfort zone, I will look up a recipe.
Okay.
But like, I'm always gonna tweak it because I know my taste.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right. Okay. So let's bust another myth.
All right.
Does Jingle Bells have racist roots?
Okay, so another one that's like, well, the thing about it, I saw this on Twitter, which is where I get a lot of my, well, X, whatever it
They
is.
do have some interesting things on there.
I get a lot of my topics from Twitter because somebody was like, yeah, well, Jingle Bells is about like this contraction that they used to put on slaves. Yes,
Oh
they put it on their
my.
head, and it's like bells on it, and so they could be able to hear when they're walking. And somebody on Twitter was like, that's what this song is about. I'm like, really? Let's see. And I wasn't able to confirm that's actually what the song is about.
Yeah.
However, the guy who wrote the song, and I forgot his name, and it's obviously, I don't need to say it anyway because that guy was racist. He was like writing all kinds of songs for the Confederacy. And so was it actually like every word racist meaning? No. Did a racist write it? Yes.
Okay.
So
I'm trying to think of the words now. Jingle bells, jingles all the way.
He talking
Oh,
about
from the
like,
Disney Rider one, huh?
yeah, he talking about really is about like picking up girls and yeah,
What?
that's really what it's
I thought
not
it was
even
about
that.
Santa.
I mean, it ain't that nice of a job of a song. I mean, it's about partying, jingle all the way and getting lit and
okay.
ghost
I
riding
never
a whip
knew
in a sleigh.
that.
Mm-hmm.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
But you know what song I did figure out was racist? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Shut up.
Yep.
Catch a tiger by its
No,
toe.
it's not tiger.
What is it? Is it a nigger?
Yeah.
Oh, I know you're lying.
We gotta
We
do have to beat that.
I'm sorry.
But that is what they say.
That's crazy.
Isn't that awful?
That's awful.
Yeah, I thought so
Damn.
too. Okay, another myth. Let's bust. Please explain Color People Time because hold on, let me tell you something. Alante was on Color People Time today.
I was.
I
got me like this. Dude.
I can't, y'all. I always show up. If I'm late, I get so much anxiety. I cannot show up late.
Yeah.
Meetings, anything, appointments, it does not matter.
Yeah.
Even if it's like, all right, show up between 7 and 7. I'm showing up at 7. I'm showing up at 6:55.
Yeah. I mean,
let's bust this.
Let's see. I mean, Color People's Time is like, it's a sticky subject because it's like one hand, it's like it's just rude, it's disrespectful, it's all these things. On the other hand, it's like, you got people who are basically saying like the concept of time and like how we are moving through it is like really like a white man thing, and like it's people trying to basically say like I'm living on my own clock and my own rules. And, I'm going to show up when it is time for me to show up, and, things will have to adjust around that. Which, I feel like there's levels to it, obviously. Like, like if you are being late and now there is like precious resources being wasted or, something like that's not okay. But I feel like to be super stressed out about like time, we gotta do this, we gotta hurry up, we gotta go here, we gotta be there, we gotta be on time for this and this and that, and then half the time you get there and you sitting there waiting.
Okay, yeah, that's annoying.
Okay, and it's like, okay, well, whose time is it really that we're on right now? And I think that's like just kind of why a lot of Black people may be a little more lax on hard times, because I mean, Yeah, we're just not trying to be held down by the man and what he told us to
Mm,
do.
mhm. Yeah, I mean, I do agree time is a social construct, whatever, whatever. But I just really honor, like,
Yeah.
I just really, it's not about the time, it's about honoring a commitment to me.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
If I tell somebody, okay, let's da da da, da, then that's what it's
Hmm.
about being impeccable with your wording. Have you read the Four
Mm.
Agreements?
No.
You should read. It's good. It's a good
Hmm.
book. It's a
Hmm.
good book. But okay, one more. Let's bust one more myth.
Okay.
Is it true black don't crack?
Well, sort of. Because one, we have melanin, beautiful, beautiful melanin, which is basically like these cells that are gathered up. We have more cells like gathered up in our skin. Then like the darker you are, the more those cells are bunching up and gathering. And that's kind of like what's blocking the sun from like getting in and doing sun damage, right? So that's like
Mm,
one reason why like we're not gonna have as much sun damage the darker you are, is simply because you have more of that melanin like building up, protecting you.
mm-hmm,
And sun damage is like definitely a cause of wrinkles and all those things. But there is also research just like talking about like how our genes is like our skin has just more elasticity
mm-hmm,
to it
mm-hmm,
in general. And yeah, so low key black don't crack unless you smoke it.
mm-hmm.
But you
Hello.
know, it's like it really depends on your genes too though. Like
Mm-hmm,
because if you have someone in your family who people in your family they have like eye bags, they get eye bags. Like it's kind of like a genetic thing at the same
oh,
token.
okay.
But like just because we do have that melanin in our skin and in our genes, it's more likely that we're not gonna crack as
Mm-hmm,
quickly.
mm-hmm.
Yes.
So, okay, I really like your storytelling skills and even like what you put on your Instagram stories. I'm in here close friends. Those stories have me cracking up. Where did
La-
you learn your storytelling skills?
I
And even the way
don't know.
you tell these stories, and I want people to go and watch because there's a bunch of videos where she just busts a whole bunch of myths. That's a tongue twister.
Oh my goodness, tell me about it. I have to say it. I'm like, now how the hell?
Bust the myths. Yeah,
Yes.
she busts a bunch, and y'all should go watch them. Where did at Melanin Mythbusters?
Melanin Mythbusters.
Yeah. But anyway, back to the storytelling. Tell me
Yes.
about your storytelling process.
Well, I always look at it as just like having a conversation, I try to like really lead with that. What I learned at, I really don't know. I think it's always just been a gift of mine. Um, to be able to like share things I like to have add a little like fun and like humor to it.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to like storytelling with like Melanin Mythbusters, I think that I always like try to start off with like, obviously the myth and like grab your attention there, get into the research, and I always kind of end it. I try to end it with a little bit of like of my thought too. With some of these topics, definitely like I add a little bit of my own 2 cents in there. Just to like get like dialogue going too, like for other people to respond and like give in their 2 cents.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, like when it comes to like the close friends, girl, that's hilarious that you think that is such good storytelling because
I literally, girl, I just get clicking through people's stories. When I get to yours, I'm like, hold on, let me turn the sound on, put my headphones on. I'm like, let me listen. I was listening to that one the other day.
Lordy.
You know which one I'm talking
Yes,
about?
I do.
I was cracking up. I'm like, I cannot believe.
Yeah, I just, I don't know. I talk to myself a lot too though.
Mm.
So like
But you're not an only child.
no, I'm not an only child, but I'm I'm an introvert.
Okay.
So I'm a very like to myself kind of person. Like I like my alone time. And yeah, I'm constantly like talking to myself. And so that's probably where it starts. And whenever I do like the close friends, I don't even think anyone's actually like really
Girl.
watching it. I just be like like somebody gotta hear this because yeah, but
It's very funny. So, what has the response to Melanin Mythbusters been like? Have you seen success with, or what do you consider success, and what has the response been?
yeah. Yeah, I say like it's been a positive response. Like, um, I've had like some videos that have gotten hundreds, thousands of views.
Oh, nice.
Which is like successful to me. You know what I'm saying? I find success with 500 views.
Yeah, hello.
Because I'm like, that's a lot of people.
That is a lot of people.
I feel like nowadays, we're like, oh, only got 100 likes, only got 50 likes. But I'm like, if you think about the actual bodies of people that's a lot of people.
That's a lot
that you're
people.
reaching and you're connecting with. Like, so that's success to me. But yeah, I think that TikTok, I feel like, is where like really be booming off. I get a lot of people like of all races, which I love that too.
Really?
Yes, I do get.
Do they offer you like, hey, can you ask about this or talk about this?
Yes, not as much as I would like to. Like, please give me more suggestions.
Right.
But there is some people who like, I know I've gotten like Cadillacs. Somebody wants me to like figure out why we're in the Cadillacs.
Okay, that would be interesting.
Yeah, and pit bulls. I'm like, okay,
that's interesting.
That's interesting. Yeah. So maybe I'll get into those one day. But yeah, you'd be surprised how many people of all races like really get into it. I know one that was really popular. I think my most popular one, low key, was when I broke down the rhythm and whether Black people are born with a rhythm. And man, yeah, that one. It got everybody going.
Really?
Everybody going.
In a good way?
Yeah, in a good way. I think that like a lot of Black people are like, well, first let me just explain a little bit. So basically, are we born with rhythm? Darn near. Because basically it's like a social thing. It's not really in our genes, like in our DNA. However, so many of Black people, like, our culture just revolves around music, whether it's like singing in a choir or being in a marching band. Like, we're just like very music oriented people. And so when a woman is pregnant with their baby, like, it's more likely as a Black woman that she's just going to be with a lot of music going on. And so the baby in your stomach is still like learning and developing so much while it's there. So if you're like giving him all these rhythm and beats and everything, like the baby's gonna catch on to that, like even in your belly.
Like a nature nurture situation. Okay.
So the more like you're listening to all that music and like he's kind of giving that rhythm going while you're pregnant, more likely that baby's gonna come out with rhythm. So that's why you see so many like Black people like with rhythm. Anyway, however, there were so many Black people in the comments like, hold on, my mama must not do any dancing because I don't have any rhythm. It must have skipped me, right? And other races just like, I agree because like my family is really into music and I feel like we all have rhythm and like this, that, and third. I'm like, yeah, it's really cool to see like other other people besides our Black folk like really like connecting with it too.
Okay, that's really cool. I love that. But listen, since you're sharing such a gift with the world, I want to share a gift with you from Sommer Time. And I really thank you for being here and allowing me to spotlight this beautiful work that you're doing. Like,
I love
it's so creative. You're such a visionary. And you're from Oakland, right?
Oakland, California.
So does that impact like your creative process at all?
I love this. Oakland has so many, the Bay Area in general, like, is just like so creative and innovative and like cultural. So I definitely think that may be a reason why I am so creative and like so into like Black culture in general. And yes, the Bay Area is just like always innovating. So I feel like that's just like in my DNA.
And side note, I really like what you're doing with the NPR music, like the different city spotlights, the small cities. That's really cool.
Thank you. And we did St. Louis.
I saw that. Yes, St. Louis. I saw it was a lot of stuff in there I didn't even know. That was really cool. That was a really cool series you all had going on.
Yeah. I love, just like, I love getting into the deep end of things and like getting into the nitty gritty and just presenting it in a easy way so more people can just know more.
Yeah, just digestible and accessible.
Yeah. Knowledge is power.
Hello. Well, shout out to you. Thank you so much, Alante. This was so nice. I appreciate you being here.
I appreciate you inviting me.
Yes, of course. We're going to have to continue this conversation.
Hell yeah.
Keep it going.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's.
Okay.